Welcome back to Bike Extraction, the channel where we don't just talk about motorcycles and scooters, we break them down piece by piece to see what they really offer riders like us. Today, we've got a machine that sits right between urban convenience and weekend adventure. It's called the Honda ADV160, and on paper, it's just a scooter with rugged styling. But once you look closer, you realize Honda might have created something unique. A city commuter that doesn't shy away from bad roads, unexpected detours, and even light trails. So, let's find out if the ADV160 is a clever design trick or a real adventure companion in scooter form. When you see the ADV160 parked next to regular scooters, it almost looks out of place. Its aggressive LED headlamp design, tall windshield, and angular bodywork scream adventure bike more than commuter scooter. Honda clearly wanted to give riders a taste of Africa Twin styling in a smaller, more approachable package. Even the exposed rear shocks, knuckle-style grips, and dual sport-inspired stance hint that this is not a typical mall runabout. It has presence, and that's rare in scooters where designs are often conservative. Underneath the plastic bodywork is Honda's 157 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled, single-cylinder engine with a 4-valve SOHC layout. This motor uses Honda's ESP Plus technology, designed for both efficiency and smoother power delivery. With around 15.8 horsepower and 14.7 Newton-meters of torque, it won't win drag races, but it gives a steady, confident push from standstill to cruising speeds. Paired with the CVT automatic transmission, it makes riding effortless, just twist and go. For city life, this is gold. For longer highway stretches, the engine revs happily without feeling stressed. This is where the ADV160 really stands apart from its siblings like the PCX 160. Honda gave it longer suspension travel, 5.1 inches up front and about 4 inches at the rear, along with a slightly higher ground clearance. On rough roads or broken tarmac, that extra travel makes a world of difference. You don't get that spine-shaking jolt every time you hit a pothole. Even gravel roads or cobblestone streets feel manageable. It's not an off-road motorcycle, but it's a scooter that can confidently roll through conditions that would rattle most of its competition. Braking is handled by a 240mm front disc with ABS and either a rear drum or disc, depending on the market. While many scooters skip ABS entirely, Honda knew this bike would attract riders venturing into less predictable conditions, so even a single-channel ABS adds valuable safety. On wet pavement or sandy corners, that anti-lock system keeps the front wheel from washing out. For new riders or those upgrading from smaller scooters, this makes the ADV160 much less intimidating. Honda didn't sacrifice practicality while adding adventure flair. Under the seat, you'll find 27 liters of storage space, enough to fit a full-face helmet or groceries. The glove box on the front adds a USB port, a thoughtful addition for charging phones or navigation devices. The windscreen can be adjusted by hand to 2 different positions, which sounds simple but makes a noticeable difference on longer rides. At lower settings, it's fine for city speeds. At the higher setting, it reduces wind buffeting at highway pace. Scooters are often judged by comfort, and here the ADV160 scores well. The 780mm seat height gives you a taller, more commanding view of traffic compared to most scooters, though shorter riders might find it a stretch. The seat itself is wide and supportive, making longer rides less fatiguing. Forward-set footrests allow you to stretch your legs, while the upright handlebar keeps your posture relaxed. Add in its curb weight of around 133 kilograms, and you get a machine that feels planted on the open road but nimble in tight city traffic. The ADV160 cruises comfortably at 80 to 100 km per hour, with enough left in reserve to hit around 120 km per hour when pushed. Acceleration is brisk for city riding, letting you pull ahead of traffic without hesitation. The real charm, though, is how it handles poor roads. That suspension tuning, combined with Honda's lightweight frame, gives you confidence when roads suddenly turn rough. Fuel efficiency adds another layer of appeal. Real-world riders report between 40 and 45 km per liter, which means fewer stops at the pump and more miles per ride. In markets where it's officially sold, the Honda ADV160 comes in at around $3,000 to $3,500 US. Even after taxes or import duties in other regions, it remains a relatively affordable choice compared to larger motorcycles. For that money, you get scooter convenience, motorcycle-inspired looks, and a level of versatility few competitors can match. The ADV160 is not just a styling exercise, it's a scooter that genuinely bridges the gap between daily commuting and weekend exploration. For riders who want one machine that can do a little of everything,